what a chap. On the show, he's written 121 songs, released 13 albums, 33 self-penned songs have hit the top 40, and he's won 6 Grammys. Lots of you saw him this weekend. He's such an amazing performer. Coming up in conversation on The Breakfast Show on Radio 2, Billy Joel, the Piano Man. We welcome to Radio 2 one of the world's most talented musicians, most incredible live performers, Billy Joel. Welcome to BBC Radio 2. How are you doing? How's London treating you?
London's been great.
Yeah?
I'm here with the kids and the wife.
Oh, fantastic.
We've been all over town and been having a great time.
Have you done some sights?
Yeah.
Has there been any shopping?
My wife's done some shopping.
Okay.
I went to the Churchill War Room yesterday, which was fascinating.
Do you like sort of, visiting historical sites and, yeah?
Well, this is the place for history.
Yeah.
I've read so much about Churchill. I'm a huge fan of his. I think he saved the world, actually.
Yeah.
And it's just great to see in person.
Yeah, fantastic. How were they when you turned up there? Did you just go of your own accord, or did...
Well, we had someone taking us around. So it was very cool.
Yeah, I'm imagining pretty cool for those guys there working there as well. They're like, Billy Joel's coming to see us. Wonderful. And great knowledge. I might have to put you to the test later on. We're sitting next to the Elton John piano, which he very kindly donated to us here at BBC Radio 2. Great friend of yours. I know you've toured together face to face. He's just played Glastonbury.
I heard.
And one of his last UK shows. It was emotional, Billy.
I bet it was.
They put up these little posters saying, "Are you ready for the Piano Man?" And there was a buzz around the festival that you were going to come on the stage with him. We were gutted that you weren't there.
Nobody told me.
He told you. There's a great story about you leaving Woodstock Festival early because of the bathroom situation. Is this a true tale?
Well, I'm not a bear. Can't do everything in the woods, I mean, it was fun for a bit, and then it started to rain. It was muddy, and there weren't a lot of facilities, as you guys say. And I said, okay, done this. I wanted to see Hendrix.
Would you ever play Glastonbury Festival? And can I vouch on behalf of Emily Evers and all the team down there, there are very good toilets. There are some that aren't so great, but there are good toilets.
Well, that would help.
Okay. There we go, Emily. That's it. I've made the first bid. I'm sure they've been desperate to have you down there for a long time. Anyway, Elton he's hanging things up. He's retiring. I know you're going to stop doing Madison Square Gardens, which you've done for 10 years. I think you've broken records with the amount of shows, Billy. But no plans to stop playing yet.
No, I haven't said I'm going to stop playing.
Thank goodness.
We're going to stop the residency at the Garden. It's been 10 years.
Yeah.
And it'll be something like 150 shows. And I don't want to outstay my welcome. You know what I mean?
Leave the party before asked to leave,
yeah,
I always say.
That's it.
Yeah. How is it for you up on the stage now when you see all the multi-generations of fans who, because our folks came and we come and then we bring our kids?
That's the best part of our audiences now, is seeing the different age groups. I had assumed that, okay, our audience will age as we do.
Yeah.
And I'm in my 70s now. So I'll see people in their 70s, but I also see kids, teenagers, and younger people, and people college age. And it's just all ages, which is the best kind of audience that you can have.
How was it for you when Zanzibar became like a massive TikTok smash? I know you have young kids. Do you have a bit of TikTok in the household? Were you aware of this phenomenon?
No.
No.
I don't know anything.
You don't know anything. You're a bit like me. I'm like, what is this?
No, didn't they do like some kind of a dance to it?
Yes, it's huge.
Really? Still?
Yes, it is still huge. And this takes music to a whole new level. Kate Bush had a huge resurgence with a track in Stranger Things. Zanzibar now, my daughter absolutely loves it, knows the words to loads of your songs through finding you through TikTok.
I don't know how a lot of this stuff works. I'm hopelessly 20th century.
Me too. Please tell me you still have a fax machine.
Got a call from an old friend, we used to be real close.
We're sitting here in Wogan House named after Sir Terry Wogan, who did the breakfast show here, did many shows here, and you appeared on his television show a few times, and we have a lovely clip.
But being famous, look, it's a funny gig. It's a weird job. It's a really strange job. But what happens is you go to the supermarket, and what most people have, you got 1,000 different kinds of cereal. Now, most people have a minute or two to sit there and go, Puffs, Chex, this, that. And I don't have that minute because I'm thinking, look at all that cereal, which one? Excuse me, Mr. Joe, can I have an autograph? So, wait a minute, just let me look at the cereal for a minute, you know? And that's part of the funny thing that happens.
Do you still get bothered buying cereal in the supermarket? Does that still happen?
Yeah. Comes with the gig.
It does.
Yeah, but I don't have to stand there and make a decision because I already know what I want when I get there, which helps a lot.
That does
Make
help.
a little list for yourself before you go.
That's amazing. Let's talk about the piano and you. When did you first start to play piano? How old were you, and what sort of stuff did you start out playing?
Well, there was a piano in my house, a little upright, an old beat-up piano, and I would go over to it when I was very young, when I was a little boy, and just bang on it. Bang, 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 and my mom got tired of that after a couple of years, and she dragged me down the street to the piano teacher. So that was when I was about 4 or 5. I actually started taking piano lessons.
Okay. And
I didn't want to.
No.
No, Mom made me do it.
Thank goodness for your mum. We all thank your amazing mum. Did you start out sort of more on a classical tip?
Well, you always start with classical when you're taking piano lessons. That's the basics. And I think that what they want to do is teach you how to become a classical performer of piano music, which I didn't want to do at all. I didn't want to be Vladimir Horowitz. I wanted to be, Elvis Presley. But it helps to have that basic.
I know there would have been a lot of Beethoven for you, who was known for being a very fast player, and you play the piano incredibly fast. Famously, sometimes at the end of your performances will blow your fingers because your fingers are they're still moving as fast as they always did, Billy.
Well, I like Beethoven.
Yes.
I think he was the best. To this day, that's actually the kind of music I listen to mostly right now is classical.
Yeah. Also, that classical influence we hear through many of your own pieces. And I think that's the incredible thing about watching you live is when we see, it's like you and the piano almost become one. And I guess, any kids who are listening or parents who are listening to the show and they're trying to encourage their kids that it's okay to learn classical music and then you can make pop music and rock music later in life. That's probably quite a good lesson.
It's a good foundation to have.
Yeah.
Although I don't even read music now. I've forgotten how to read music.
Wow.
So that's a good tool to have in the toolbox. But I don't have it anymore.
Okay. I think you'd said in the Terry interview that it's very rare you would put on your own music. You might hear your own music on the radio.
Yeah, I never put on my own music. I wrote it. I wrote the lyrics. I arranged it. I produced it. I rehearsed it. I played it a million times. I don't really need to hear it again.
And when you're listening to music at home, if you're listening to Beethoven and any other favourites, how do you listen? Are you a vinyl man? Do you play records? Is it through some...
Every which way.
Yeah.
Every which way I can. I don't always program music. Sometimes just come across it when it's being played. I'm a dad to these little girls now, so life is a bit on the mundane side, but I like it like that.
That's a good thing. You took them to see Taylor Swift recently.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
That was a great show.
Yeah.
She was phenomenal.
Yeah, tell me about her as a performer. When you watch
great.
her.
She does 3.5 hours on stage. I mean, the woman's energy is incredible. And every hit song she's ever done, she's going to do. And she's running over here. She's running over there. They're dancing. They're singing. Wow. I'm glad I don't have to start out now following that act.
Talking about that, do you think it would be harder now? I guess the way people listen to music has changed. It's harder for artists to sort of make a living. I mean, you worked very hard to get where you got to.
Yeah, but I also have this image of I'm the least glamorous pop star there is. I mean, I just sit at the piano and play the piano. I'm in my 70s. I'm not a matinee idol. So why are you coming to see me in the first place? I don't understand. But, it all has to do with the music. It's all about music.
Do you still write a lot of songs?
Well, I still write music. I don't write songs now.
Okay.
I've kind of given up on song form because I've done it.
Yeah.
And now I just tend to like instrumental music, orchestral music.
Okay. And will we hear any new work from you at any point?
Possibly. But I don't know how to predict that. I mean, I'm writing all the time, but I'm not always recording.
Okay. And when you sit at the piano, does it just come to you, new music? Is it when you're out walking?
A lot of it happens in dreams.
Wow.
You wake up in the morning, what was that thing I was dreaming? It was really powerful. It was really good. And you try to recollect it. Sometimes you can't. And it'll drive you crazy. Like Just the Way You Are, I dreamt, and then I forgot it. And it was driving me nuts for weeks. And then one day I was in the middle of a meeting, and it reoccurred to me. And I said, I got to leave right now. I got to write this down. And I'm running home. Don't go crazy. Don't forget this. Any kind of words I could think of to just keep the melody in my head. So that's how it usually happens from dreams.
That's amazing. I also heard that I think Keith Richards had a similar moment with a song where he fell asleep. I think he may have had a drink. But yeah, there you go, in dreams.
Don't go changing to try and please.
Oh, singing every word.
Beautiful.
I want to cry as well sometimes when I hear Billy Joel. What a chap he is, Jules. There's more to come. I suppose it's impossible to choose a favourite song from all your works. I know our listeners have been in touch asking us for some of their favourites. But is there one that perhaps was a real turning point for you in your career, or maybe later in your career, that is very special?
I found that the hardest thing to write are the very simple ones. It's very, very difficult to write something that hasn't been done before that's very simple and eloquent in its simplicity. The last song I wrote like that I thought was really good and simple was a song called And So It Goes, which is essentially just vocal and piano. But the chordings are very expressive. There's dissonances in the chords that aren't always obvious, but they're there. And it's a good piece of writing.
Great piece of writing. So many of our listeners have been in touch with messages about some of your records. Sarah Strickland said, I'm for it. Billy Joel's song has helped a lot of people through history. Can you possibly imagine which one she's talking about?
We didn't start the fire.
Yeah, exactly. Only makes sense we have a new version. So she may be sort of talking here a little bit about, she's saying, when I was younger, I used to look up the lyrics to the song and dig into the actual events. So your music has also taught people history, Billy, which is fantastic. Have you heard the new verses written by, is it Fall Out Boy?
Fall Out Boy, yeah, I heard about this, yeah. Everybody's been wanting to know when there's going to be an updated version of it, because my song started in 49 and ended in 89. It was a 40-year span. And everybody said, well, are you going to do part 2 or are you going to do part 2? I said, nah, I've already done part 1.
Okay.
So Fall Out Boy, go ahead. Great, take it away.
And you've also said that this is a song that can be a nightmare to sing live because there are so many lyrics to it. You do often turn to the crowd for help.
Well, sometimes I'm watching people sing along, hoping they'll guide me, because you get one word wrong and it's a train wreck, which happened to me. I was in Toronto and I forgot the words, and then I just stopped the song. Stop the music, stop it. And the crowd made this noise like, ah. So it's walking on a tightrope with that thing.
Talk to me about your daughter, Alexa, as well. The music is most definitely in her. You must be so proud of her. I've seen her performing on videos. What a voice.
Yeah, she's a good musician. She took piano lessons too and learned classical music as well. She actually became a better pianist than me when she was quite young. And she's got a great voice that she loves to write music. She's up all night writing songs every night. And she's recording some new stuff now, so I'm interested to hear what it is because I haven't heard it yet.
Oh, great. And does she bring it to you when she records new stuff? Did you ever take new music to her?
I've run music by her, that before I recorded it. And she's done that with me a few times, but I haven't heard her new stuff recently, which I'm dying to hear.
That's a beautiful thing to have in a relationship between a dad and a daughter,
yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
fun.
That shared love.
Yeah, well, the new ones, they're musical too.
Yeah.
The 7-year-old Della has perfect pitch. I know, it's crazy. And the younger one is now singing she's got a good voice too, so we could become the new Von Trapp family.
My goodness me, the Joels go on the road. This could, we may have to hold you to that. You mentioned your age quite a bit, Billy, and I have to say you look phenomenal. How do you look after yourself? Is it just good genes? Is it good eating? Do you do exercise, or are you just blessed?
None of the above. I don't know. I don't think I look all that good. But I don't look in the mirror that often, which is something you tend to not do when you get older, which is, helps a lot.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Just take the mirrors down. My eyesight's gone with menopause. I can't see myself. It's great. We were playing some favourite piano songs on the show the other day, and Piano Man, obviously requested by so many of our listeners, and we had this really beautiful message in. Hi Zoe, I just jumped into the van to go to work as you introduced Piano Man by my musical hero Billy Joel. I'm lucky enough to have seen him twice before at Wembley and the NEC, and my eldest daughter Alicia surprised me with tickets for us both at Hyde Park next week. Each time I've seen Billy, I've called my dad for him to listen to Piano Man when I'm watching, as this was our song. My dad sadly passed away 5 years ago, aged 69, after a sudden heart attack. As we said goodbye to him at the hospital, I held his hand and I played this song and sang it to him. I'm now sat, pulled over in the van, tears rolling down my cheeks listening. Thank you for playing our song. Memories will last forever. That's Wayne from Bristol, and his dad was Alan. These songs are very special to people, Billy. How does that feel for you?
It's humbling, actually. I had no idea that I was going to be, able to continue performing this long. I just assumed there was an arc to it. And, okay, people like your stuff. And then eventually it kind of dies out, and that's the end of that. And you become an oldies act. But we've, continued to replenish the audience, like I said, with different generations. They keep coming. Sometimes I'm sitting up there like, what are you doing here? Isn't this old for you guys? I mean, there's nothing new for a long time. I haven't written a new song in, 30-something years. But people keep coming. I guess they just like it.
Yeah.
But, I don't know how else to explain it.
Slow down, you crazy child. You're so
How does it feel when you're up on the stage and everybody sings your words back to you?
That's the lyrics. That's my favorite thing. You get this sense of community that we used to get listening to the Beatles. I was a Beatle fan. I went through American Beatlemania, and we were all on the same page. It was really cool. We all felt like we were in this special group because you loved the Beatles. Everyone was on the same page. And little by little, people kind of went their different ways. And some people like heavy metal, some people like folk music, some people like country music, blah, blah, blah. But the Beatles built a sense of community, which I haven't felt for a long time. And when I'm on stage and people are singing along and I see all different age, they're singing all the words. They know the words, which amazes me because I don't remember half of them.
It's handy that they know them.
Yeah.
It's so good. Do you ever get to see Paul or Ringo? And did you ever meet John?
I never met John, which is kind of sad because we lived near each other. And I used to drive my boat by his house. And so there's John's house, but I'm not going to bother the guy. I'm sure he gets bothered all the time. He used to do the same thing with me. He knew where I lived, and he'd row his boat past my house. And he told the guy who was with him, I'm not going to bother him. So we never bothered each other, which we should have done, actually.
Yeah.
Paul I've met a few times. Paul is he's great with the kids. It's your Uncle Paulie. And he bounces him on the knee. And he's a good dad, he's a real dad. And I see him a lot on Long Island, where I live.
Yeah. A place you've lived your whole life. What has kept you there?
It's where I'm from. I like knowing where I'm from. I like knowing the people that I came from. I don't want to get too far away from that.
Yeah.
It's funny. I'm living 15 minutes away from where I grew up. So all these songs about going away and doing this and that, it's a bunch of baloney.
I can see you're still right there. But also, you sort of think of our kids all growing up in sort of quite different circumstances. You were working several jobs. You didn't get to an English exam, I think, because you were working late and you'd slept in. You worked really hard as a kid to get to where you got to and to, look after your family.
Well, I wanted to be a musician.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I didn't think I was going to be a rock star.
Yeah.
You look in the mirror, you don't look like a rock star. So I just, worked as hard as I could. I took all the gigs I could take. Worked weddings, bar mitzvahs, sweet 16 parties, church dances, everything. Just work. And it turned into this, which is amazing.
Yeah.
It's miraculous.
There you go. Any kids listening, anyone who's just taken up the piano or the drums or the violin or a new hobby, if you work at it, you get so much back from it.
That's my advice to people. Work as much as you can. Get as much work, all kinds of work. And you get good at it after a while. That's how you learn. You got to kind of screw up. You got to make mistakes. You got to fall down sometimes. But picking yourself up is the character builder.
Oh, Billy, it's such a treat to talk to you. Thank you so much
for
coming to see us. Amazing. I loved it. Thank you so much to Billy Joel for taking the time to come and talk to us.